Mmm, I am so excited. I'm about ready to make some sauce, specifically anchovy spaghetti sauce. I know it sounds weird, but it's a family tradition on my husband's side, and I have come to really, really enjoy it. And part of the reason I'm so excited to make it is I read this story about how fish were multiplied. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, let's multiply the anchovies because then we can have more spaghetti sauce. And who doesn't love a good homemade sauce? So, I'm going to start with some anchovies. That's right. Real anchovies. Ooh, yum. Now, the story that I read only talked about 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, but I mean, everybody could totally eat more than their share of garlic bread when you're having spaghetti. So I've started with my 2 anchovies, and I'm going to add some additional ingredients. A little flavor, a little spice, that's always good with the sauce. The anchovies can be a little overpowering, so you just want to kind of start it off, with a little something to tone down the salty, fishy taste. So I'm super excited to see how many anchovies we get. More anchovies, more sauce. This is good. It's fizzing already. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, I think give it just another second or two. All right, starting to fizz less. So let's see what's in this sauce. 2 anchovies. I was expecting more. Clearly the story said 2 fish, 5,000 people fed. I can't feed 5,000 people with this. I missed something. I'm gonna have to go back and read the story. So you wanna read the story with me? So I was reading it in this book. It's called the Spark Story Bible, and it was particularly towards the back, this story called Jesus Feeds 5,000. It was a beautiful sunny day as Jesus and his disciples crossed the Sea of Galilee in a boat with white sails. Jesus had been healing sick people, and many more people of all ages came to see him again that day. Maybe they could hear more of Jesus' stories or see him show God's power through another miracle. When Jesus saw the large crowd of men, women, and children, he asked his friend Philip, "How are we going to get enough food to feed all of these people?" Philip answered, "I could work for 6 months and not earn enough money to buy food for all of these men, women, and children." Well, the disciples didn't know what to do. Just then Andrew pointed to a young child and said, "Here's a boy who has 5 small loaves of bread and 2 fish." See, I told you, the story totally has 2 fish in it. It is something, but it certainly isn't enough food for all of these people. The boy looked very nervous as he said in a small voice, "Jesus, please take my food if you think it will help." Jesus took the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that the boy offered and asked his friends to have the crowd sit down. About 5,000 people sat in the grassy meadow by the lake that day. After Jesus gave thanks to God, he blessed the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Then he shared the food with all of the people who were there that day. All 5,000 people ate until they were full. Then Jesus said, "Now let's gather up all of the leftovers." And do you know what? There were enough leftover pieces of bread to fill 12 large baskets. More loaves and fishes left over than the boy had given to Jesus. The disciples shook their heads in disbelief as they struggled to pick up the baskets heavy with food. The people saw the full baskets of leftovers and began to understand that something extraordinary had just happened. Another miracle. Jesus smiled as he heard people say, "God must have sent Jesus to us." It was a day the boy, the disciples, and all of the people would never forget. Well, I think it's obvious that my recipe did not call for a miracle. And as far as I know, Jesus isn't providing a miracle in my kitchen right now. But Jesus was and is still a miracle today. We are all on journeys of faith. We have all been at various times in our lives. The practical one, like Philip. We've been the uncertain one, like the disciples. And we have all had that faith of the child. No matter how we see ourselves amidst the COVID-19 and the back to school plans, we know that Christ's love is poured out abundantly and continuously upon us. So may we go out into the world this week, ready to share from the abundance that God has already given to us. Amen.